Hello and welcome back to Leader of the Pack Dog Training. My name is Wendy and today I want to take you through how to make this DIY snuffle mat. Snuffle mats are a great way to provide mental stimulation for your dog by spreading treats or dry food throughout the mat and encouraging them to sniff out the food and work to find it. Since the dog isn't required to really push the toy around or there's not much movement required, it is great if you're going to do things like crate training or where you need the dog to be more in one place, or if your dog has mobility issues and can't be pushing a dispensing toy around, for example. To start, you will need a rubber mat and a variety of fabric that we will cut up into strips and tie onto the rubber mat. I chose 3 different coloured polar fleece material, and I chose this cat print because I thought it was a bit cute and ironic given it's for dogs. Feel free to use what you have around your home. If you have clothes that you're no longer going to wear, those would be a good option to cut up and use for this mat as well. So spread out your material. You want to cut strips about 1 inch wide, and then once you've cut your fabric, you are then going to cut them down into smaller pieces that you will then tie to the rubber mat. I made each of the different colours slightly different lengths to create dimension and kind of pockets around the snuffle mat. If you're interested in what lengths I use, they'll be in the description box below. So then when you want to start tying the fabric to the mat, you flip the mat over so the base is facing up, and then you feed the pieces of fabric through the holes of the mat. What I did is I fed the fabric through first, and then I flipped it over to tie the knots. So as you can see here, once you feed both pieces through, both sides of the fabric through, you can then tie the fabric nice and tight. Now for most of it I did a double knot. If you've got smaller pieces of fabric, a single knot should be fine. Then you just flip it back over and repeat. And this is the time consuming part of this project. So it was really fun, but it took ages. So what I ended up doing is I would complete a line at a time and then flip it over and do the knots. So how I did this was I alternated the pink and the printed fabric along the horizontal lines, and then I used the blue fabric kind of more on a diagonal between the 2 vertical lines. That's kind of how it worked out for me, and I was pretty happy with how it turned out in the end. I do not recommend snuffle mats as a home alone toy. This is something that you will need to supervise your dog using. Now, if your dog likes to rip apart or destroy toys or even consume fabrics, then this is definitely not the toy for your dog. So use your best judgment, and obviously if you see your dog is starting to pull or rip or destroy the fabric, then please remove the toy from your dog. So it's now time to see how my dog Ruby is going to enjoy this snuffle mat. So I just used her normal dry food and sprinkled, I think, about half a cup across the whole mat, and I just kind of worked it in with my hands. The biscuits really fell in quite easily, and even though some of them looked like they were on the top, as she was using it, they kind of fell through into deeper pockets of the mat. She got a lot of sniffing out of this actually. And she really enjoyed using it, and it's definitely become part of our normal toy rotation. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you give this project a try. It is time consuming, but I think worth it in the end. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.